I got put on a PIP. Well, technically not a performance improvement plan, but it was called a behavior improvements plan, which is somehow worse, I guess. Sydney, Australia in 2018. I was working as an agency staffing recruiter, pretty much a salesperson. My boss pulled me aside and told me I was an asshole. A number of concerns had been brought up around the office regarding my attitude. My boss's boss also joined the meeting. She called me out even harder. Will, I think you're a wanker. A wanker who's very good at showing up and working his ass off and bringing in results. But boy, oh boy, your attitude has got to change. This is your first and final warning. We would like to see immediate corrective action. I promised that I'd get my act together. And again, she called me out and told me I was very good at telling people exactly what they wanted to hear and that she'd believe it when she saw it. Yeesh, rough go. To be fair, I was an arrogant asshole who had massive ego issues and desperately needed some therapy. But I showed up. I made it work. I beat the PIP. Or BIP, as they called it. Now, these days in this climate, every third post on the r/sales subreddit seems to be to do with a PIP, and it's all over LinkedIn as well. So can you survive, and should you even try to survive a PIP? And if so, how? The truth is, almost every single salesperson has experienced performance issues at some point in their career. PIPs, or performance improvement plans, come into play when an employee's performance is consistently lower than a manager's expectations of them. In sales, that could mean low quota attainment, typically under 80%, or even not hitting activity expectations, not making enough calls, not having enough meetings, not sending enough emails. The PIP formally documents low performance, and they typically set out an expected result and a time frame of which the employee is expected to hit that result by. For example, book 30 meetings in 30 days, build $90,000 of new pipeline in 60 days, close $100,000 worth of revenue in 3 months. And if that result is not hitting that time frame,
you're fired! Okay.
Yikes, no pressure. You might be thinking, well, that sounds fair. Do certain thing by certain time and keep my job. Why do I even need to watch this video? Well, PIPs aren't always given with the best intention of improving performance. Rather, it's a formal and legal record and acknowledgement of underperformance from the employee, which can be used to begin and end the argument of terminating your employment without you being able to say it was an unfair dismissal. The majority of sellers that I have worked with who have been on a PIP have not survived them. The success rate of PIPs is extremely low. And even those who do succeed on a PIP may end up leaving the company soon after anyway. And because of this poor reputation around performance improvement plans, employees are aware that by giving you a PIP, you might take the hint and show yourself the door. Why would a company do this? To remove low performers, to remove people who don't fit in within the culture, to remove headcount and staffing costs while removing the bad press of layoffs, or to encourage an employee to leave in their own free will so that they can avoid paying severance. The tricky part is your manager and HR often positions the PIP as a way to help you get back on track.
Help me help you.
And yes, that can be true.
Help me help you.
It can also be a lie. So how do you deduce which of those two things are the case and decide on your next course of action? Well, I'd look at answering a few key questions. Number one, why are we here? How did we get here? Have you been underperforming? Likely yes. What's the reason that your performance has been low? Could you have done better? Done things differently? Tried harder? And if you could have, then why didn't you? Are you really committed to this position, this role, this company? Are you passionate about the product that you sell? Heck, do you even want to work in sales? Is sales right for you? This can be an excellent opportunity to learn from your failures, be accountable, reflect.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
And ultimately, grow. So the first step when you get put on a PIP is to really figure out if you want to stay or go. And then, if you decide that you want to stay, you need to figure out if they want you to go. Are the goals that they've set for you measurable and attainable? If they're not measurable, how are you going to know if you're succeeding? Do you believe that you can hit the requested goals in the set time frame? Are they realistic? Does your manager have a plan to help you reach those goals? Is anyone else on the team on a PIP as well? If lots of people are suddenly being pulled up on performance, it could be an attempt to reduce headcount like I mentioned earlier. Each of these questions should allow you to figure out if this is a genuine attempt to retain you as an employee and improve you, or a constructive way of telling you to hit the road. So, if you want to stay and you believe that they want to help you improve as well, get to work. Just like back in 2018 when I got put on a plan. Arrive early, stop slacking off, work your ass off, exceed every single activity metric given to you, listen to coaching.
I'm not leaving.
Be keen to learn.
I'm not leaving.
Use your free time to further develop your skills.
I'm not leaving.
Improve your physical and mental health. Get your life together.
The show goes on.
Show up and prove to everyone that you're the done.
I ain't going nowhere.
Take that PIP and destroy it. However, if you feel like they want you gone, and or you don't want to stay, then you may choose to initiate your own PIP, paid interview period. It is endlessly easier to find a new job when you're already employed. It raises less questions to interviewers. You remain financially secure. You're not in a rush and therefore can evaluate your options and find the best role for you. And ultimately, you're less desperate to find work. And anyone in sales knows that desperation stinks.
What is that smell?
That's the smell of desire, my lady.
And the more you need something, the less likely you are to get it. So begin applying elsewhere while continuing to show up and kind of get by your current role. Use the time that you have left at your current company to evaluate new options so you don't end up jobless. And when you do get that next role, remember everything you learned when you reflected on why you ended up here in the first place, and apply those to do bigger and better things and overperform at your new company. Oh, and if you want to save me from being put on a pip, please subscribe.